very few topics which are of so much importance nowadays. And in our ICU, of lately, what I have seen, in whatsoever patients we are giving any isolate which may be healthcare associated, is majority of the times it is Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase. So after receiving 24 to 48 hours of antibiotics in our hospital, even if the primary microorganism was something else, in our majority of our respiratory tract specimens, we are receiving a lot of Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase. So what is Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase? In the year 1996, it was detected first in the USA. They isolated one Klebsiella pneumoniae which was resistant to all the beta lactams, including carbapenems. Prior to that, we were dealing with extended spectrum beta lactamase, which were sensitive to beta lactamase inhibitor combination drugs like piperacillin tazobactam or maybe amoxicillin clavulanic acid, and retaining sensitivity to carbapenems. But Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase, when it came in the picture, it was resistant to all the beta lactams. It was resistant to beta lactamase inhibitor combinations, which is there with other beta lactamase producing microorganisms also, and along with that it was resistant to carbapenems also. So ertapenem, imipenem, meropenem, and at that time they had no idea what to give in such kind of patients, and slowly it started capturing all over the world. And very recently WHO has enlisted a few bugs जिसमें कि Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase is among top 5 microorganisms of concern about which we should be very cautious. So what are the characteristics? It is resistant to all beta lactams, it is resistant to beta lactamase inhibitor combinations, it is resistant to carbapenems. So what are you left with? It will the gene which is responsible for causing this much of resistance is BLA KPC, ज़्यादातर में यही मिलता है. और these genes, they are present on, they are plasmid bonds. Basically they are not chromosomally mediated, they are plasmid based genes, and that is why their transmission is like fire. They get transmitted horizontally. It is not only vertical transmission like Klebsiella pneumoniae carrying Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase gene will transfer its gene to its daughter bugs, but it will also transmit to other bugs present in the vicinity, or maybe the patient colonizing other bugs, or maybe your hospital environment colonizing other bugs will catch this gene and will become resistant. Like if you'll see your Pseudomonas aeruginosa coming sensitive, and if you face an outbreak of Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase, your Pseudomonas aeruginosa, which was sensitive to all anti-pseudomonal drug, will catch this gene and will become resistant to all drugs and will come sensitive only to a few antibiotics which are not there in the gene coding for Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase. It is usually a part of a large gene जिसमें और भी antibiotics के जो resistance causing genes होते हैं वो present होते हैं. So when any bug is having carbapenemase, it is usually resistant to aminoglycosides also, it is usually resistant to fluoroquinolones also. So हमारे लिए problem क्या होता है कि हम कैसे treat करें, how to treat these patients who are infected with Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase or genes carrying the Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase. So it will not be only Klebsiella pneumoniae. E. coli will also be carrying the same carbapenemase gene. Pseudomonas aeruginosa will also be carrying the same carbapenemase gene. So these genes, they have a property of getting transmitted horizontally, and they will make the other bugs resistant to all the drugs available to treat till date. What can we do? हमारे पास कुछ treatment options हैं जो हम try कर सकते हैं इन patients में. Like these microorganisms, they usually retain sensitivity to polymyxins. So उसके लिए आपके पास में अगर sensitivity available है, but उसके भी plus और minus points होंगे. They usually retain sensitivity to tigecycline. And other than these two drugs, usually you will not get sensitivity to any other antibiotic. and they will retain sensitivity to fosfomycin also if it is a urinary isolate. And in India we have IV fosfomycin available, so you can treat your patients with IV fosfomycin if the sensitivity is retained. So talking in a brief about treatment options available, whatever research is there, a lot of people have tried using these antibiotics along with other antibiotics to attack these bugs. Okay, so if in your facility, even if it is coming resistant to carbapenem, a lot of studies they have said that if MICs are less than equal to 16 microgram per ml but more than 8 microgram per ml, you can use carbapenems in extended infusion along with polymyxins or maybe polymyxin and tigecycline, and you can target these drugs, and response rate, basically clinical response as well as microbiological response, is better than using colistin alone. So colistin is a drug, or polymyxin group of antibiotics is a drug which can be used in these patients, but the thing with colistins is heteroresistance is really very common in microorganisms as far as polymyxin group of antibiotics are concerned. So if I report it as sensitive, you start giving it in your patient, the sensitive population will get killed but the resistant population will thrive, and your microorganism will become resistant after giving therapy to colistin alone. So it is recommended that polymyxin therapy is never tried alone. It should always be given with some other antibiotic so that you do not develop resistance in the microorganism, which is very common in the population. So a lot of studies are there where they have combined in carbapenemase producing microorganism polymyxin with carbapenem, and the clinical response rate is really good. Okay, the other combination which can be done is colistin plus tigecycline, but in sepsis cases it has seen that when you use colistin and tigecycline जहाँ पर भी आप यूज़ करते हो, mortality rate is really very high, especially in sepsis patients. Second thing is that टिजीसाइक्लिन का बहुत अच्छा टिश्यू पेनिट्रेशन होता है, सो उसकी जो अवेलेबिलिटी है ब्लड स्ट्रीम में वो कम रहती है. तो जहाँ पर आपको लग रहा है कि इट इज़ इंटर एब्डोमिनल इन्फेक्शन या स्किन एंड सॉफ्ट टिश्यू इन्फेक्शन, वहाँ पर दिस ड्रग विल बी टारगेटिंग द सोर्स एंड इट इज़ रियली वेरी लेस अवेलेबल इन दी सीरम. सो वहाँ पर आपका ये कॉम्बिनेशन काम कर सकता है. बट अदरवाइज अगर फुल फ्लेजेड बैक्टीरिया है और पेशेंट सेप्सिस में आया है, देन एडिंग टिजीसाइक्लिन इवन विद कार्बापेनम विल नॉट गिव यू दैट मच क्योर रेट. सो इन दैट केस यू विल हैव टू थिंक कि हम यहाँ पर 3 एंटीबायोटिक वाली थेरेपी शायद यूज़ करें. Phosphomycin is a drug which can be used in such patients. IV phosphomycin you can give. Again, utility will be high if it is a urosepsis case rather than any other but the studies are still going on with IV phosphomycin. One more aminoglycosides can be used, especially if your patient is having UTI and is having sepsis, then aminoglycoside along with colistin you can utilize in your patient. A few studies are there in which such microorganisms are tried with dual carbapenem therapy. So it is a carbapenemase producer. Carbapenemase enzyme has a very good affinity for ertapenem. So if you combine meropenem or imipenem with ertapenem, the carbapenemase will will use ertapenem and will be utilized. So ertapenem will be acting as a suicide substrate. The combination जैसे आपका beta lactamase inhibitors काम करते हैं, and the imipenem or meropenem will be available for the patient's bug. So we have very limited options available with us. One new molecule, ceftazidime avibactam, it is there in the market for these carbapenemase producing microorganisms only, and promising results are there in the literature also, but research is going on in using ceftazidime avibactam in carbapenemase producing microorganism. So I think therapy wise we have Dr. Rajesh available with us who can guide you that what all options, and depending on the body site which antibiotic should be given. And we should be very much attentive towards preventing the spread of these microorganisms. So two-pronged approach is always helpful. One, we should try to not give carbapenems in those patients in whom it is not at all recommended. So if you see any patient, if we categorize any patient coming to the ICU, there are 4 risk categories in stratifying your patient. So category 1 is a young patient with no comorbidity, with no risk factor for having infection with such resistant microorganisms like carbapenemase producing or maybe ESBL producing. So these patients, they should be receiving very basic antibiotics, like if they can be treated with 3rd generation cephalosporins. And if they are really very, if you think that it will not work, then you should give beta-lactam, beta-lactamase inhibitor combination. Otherwise, you should see what is the diagnosis of the patient, and then accordingly you should give syndrome approach based 3rd generation cephalosporin, or maybe erythromycin, or maybe if you are trying to target any gram-positive population, any drug other than vancomycin, teicoplanin, linezolid, because ultimately when you place burden on these type of patients, these microorganisms, they start developing resistance, they start mutating and acquiring resistance, so that they survive in the world. Basically, resistance will keep on coming. It is our responsibility to curtail this resistance. When penicillin came, it was like it is a miracle, now no infection will happen, but it became resistant. So similarly, any antibiotic which will come in the market, it will become resistant. Bacteria, viruses, they will mutate, they will become resistant to it. So it is our responsibility to treat first accordingly to the risk factors associated. So any patient who has no exposure to any healthcare, who has not any comorbidity, who is not any prolonged treatment, and in previous 90 days he or she has not received any antibiotic, should not be given any high-end antibiotic. Risk category 2 are the patients who are moderately ill, who have received antibiotics in the previous 90 days or have been hospitalized in previous 90 days. Any comorbidity like diabetes, hypertension, COPD, such thing, they should receive beta-lactam, beta-lactamase inhibitor combination. They should not be receiving carbapenems straight away. Otherwise, again, you will be posing resistance threat to the bugs which are present in the patients. And third are your patients who are coming in full-fledged sepsis, whom you know that these patients were hospitalized previously and their life is in danger. If you will not give carbapenem to these patients, they are definitely not going to survive long. So in those patients, carbapenem should be started and proper documentation should be done, so that at least in your mind you are clear that these patients are receiving some high-end antibiotics. And class 4 patients are patients getting shifted from any other hospital to you, in whom you will be starting antifungals. Then next important thing is, in any patient in whom carbapenemase has been identified, please pay strict attention so that you do not transmit that microorganism to any other patient. So you must be having a lot of patients who are admitted for the last 60 days or maybe 30 days or maybe 20 days, and if those patients they catch Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase of any other hospital, they are going to add bioburden to your ICU. So strict contact precautions. In your case, if you are doing any procedure, you will be wearing gown, you will be wearing gloves. Before wearing gloves, you will be performing hand hygiene. After removing your gloves, you will be performing hand hygiene. Gown must be put in the laundry, and then keep sufficient distance from the patient, because ultimately you are getting colonized with these resistant bugs. If I take surveillance cultures of my doctors, 90% of the doctors must be carrying Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase. Your Klebsiella, which you are carrying in your throat or which you are carrying in your fecal material, will not be coming sensitive to any antibiotic other than colistin, polymyxin B and tigecycline. So you are changing your flora, and then the community which is closely attached to you is getting exposed to that resistant bug, and that is how we are getting a few community cases which are resistant to these uh, all antibiotics. So we will not say only carbapenem. When it is carbapenemase, they are resistant to aminoglycosides, they are resistant to fluoroquinolones. So आपको ट्रीटमेंट तो करना ही है, उसके साथ में प्रिवेंशन भी करना है, because USA of lately since 2018 has started reporting decline in the cases of carbapenemase, and the factors which led to this decline according to them is the preventive steps which they took for curtailing spread of these infections in their ICU. So from 2018 a few of their centers have started reporting actually decline of carbapenemase, Klebsiella producing carbapenemase enzyme by infection control protocols, and it's a good thing that because they actively do surveillance cultures of their patients, and for 3 months they put those patients on surveillance cultures. After 3 months, if they do not get any Klebsiella pneumoniae which is producing carbapenemase, then they withdraw those infection control precautions in their patients. So any questions or any queries related to Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase you can ask. We can have next class on specific things also.